we all know that Europe is a big player on the global stage, but in many ways, I think it's been a kind of sleeping giant and increasingly been seen as becoming more and more irrelevant. But there seems to be a strategic awakening of Europe's role in the global economy. And it's shifting from being mainly a market and a rule setter to actually becoming a builder of capability. They're starting to pass legislation and rules and incentives, which are really starting to decide where industries scale, which dependencies are cut, and which partners I think are backed. They're also accelerating strategic capacity investments from defense to resilience programs around energy and supply chains. And this is all starting. There's definitely a rumble. There's structural, there's deep thinking that's happening to say, what are our competitive advantages? What is the role we play in the future? And I think what a lot of if you look at the multipolarity, you spoke about this earlier, Graham, the multiple power blocks that are emerging in the world, I think Europe is there's a high potential that Europe is going to start playing a much stronger, more dominant role in this process. So I guess if you're a CEO or if you're a supply chain leader, this is now becoming increasingly strategic. It's not background Europe. It's not Europe of the old. I think we could be looking at Europe of the new.
I'm fascinated to watch a particular aspect of this, Dean, and that is a few of the governments. I think I have it correct that it was Belgium, Germany, and France have all announced that they are no longer going to be using American software. Now, that's not a small announcement. One of the reasons was that I forget the exact details of the case, but one of the governments and one of the diplomats, was pushing back against America, and America then asked Google to switch off his Gmail account and ask Microsoft to give them access to his inbox, which then the technology companies did. And Europe just said, what? We can't have that happening. If this has interested or intrigued you, follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and get the full episode.